Good morning, my brothers and sisters, and all my friends. This morning, I would like to address the parents in India and all over the planet, all over the world, so that all the parents can prepare their child for the 21st century. And your child, if you could give these 5 fundamental faculties, the fundamental disciplines, and if you could make your child steadfast on the dharma of these 5 faculties and 5 disciplines, your child will be the best prepared child for the 21st century. And for this, the parents don't need any education. You don't have to worry that, okay, we are not educated, so our child can never compete with others, or we are not competent enough to give the best to our child. My dear friends and my brothers and sisters, even if you are uneducated, even if you have never went to the school, even if you are very poor, doesn't matter, you can still prepare your child for the best, for the most competent child for the 21st century. For this, you need no education. Only you need is the commitment. And you take the responsibility for your child as the cosmic guru, as the teacher, first teacher. When you take this responsibility, cosmic responsibility, deep down in your heart and mind, as a parent, that you are responsible for your child, you are responsible for the behavior of your child in the 21st century. And through your child, you are establishing a chain of good or evil on the planet Earth. So you are responsible, but for that you don't worry about education or no education, poor or rich. You can be anywhere. You can be living on the street. But believe me, if you can teach your child these 5 disciplines, you will be preparing your child for 21st century as the chain of good for themselves and for the whole universe. What are these 5 disciplines you have to prepare your child for? These are also survival skills for the 21st century. Your child will be the best prepared for 21st century. And what are these? Number 1 is the time management. For this you don't need any education. It's just simple behavior pattern you have to establish, a discipline you have to establish in your child's behavior. That there is a definite time to get up, there is a set time to sleep, there is a set time to do every little work, all 24 hours. You make a timetable. You can ask your child to make a timetable for 24 hours, including all the activities, and ask your child and make sure that your child behaves and follows that timetable religiously. If your child says, okay, I'll get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, your child must get up at 5 o'clock. Doesn't matter about the Sunday, Monday, or doesn't matter about the Christmas or Diwali or any other festival. There is no holiday. Your child must know this commitment. When your child will follow this religiously, the time management, and the time management, which is the management for whole life. Your child will be very steadfast for every activity of 24 hours. And believe me, that's the way your child will develop, cultivate, and incorporate the cosmic behavior, and precise cosmic behavior. Because as we know, the Mother Earth follows the great dharma of precision. If our Mother Earth will go little near to the sun, everything will be burned off. There will be no oceans and no water on earth to support life. And if it goes a little bit further, just few meters even, everything will freeze and we will have the ice age on earth and the life will stop. That is the behavior, that is the dharma of Mother Earth. So your child will become the great yogi who behaves in correspondence with the Mother Earth, with the planet. The second, your child must learn to be on one place. Say that I study 5 hours, 4 hours, then there is no chocolates. Excuse me. There is no other time on TV, on Facebook, or any other activity but that specific time allotted to that activity, and on that work desk he won't move from the work desk. This is known as asana sadhana in yoga. You be in one place and you don't move, you don't leave your place, you become the center of the universe. So first is the time management, the second the location, that you never move from your workplace, you stay there, and third is the discipline of the word management. Your child must learn never to speak the words which are irrelevant, which are not concerned about his goal and his destiny and his earth mission. If he wants to be a very good student of mathematics, he doesn't need to use the words of poetry. It doesn't mean anything to him because it doesn't correspond with the mission he has on hand. So he must use only those words which are relevant to the work, with the work and the ambition and the goal at hand. And by this he will develop the neurolinguistic programming of his own brain, own mind. And he will become, his mind will be so focused, so concentrated on the goal. So that's the third one. But in this third one there is another part, and that is vachan sadhana. And that is when you commit to somebody, when you give somebody a word of honor that you will be there at 10 o'clock or you will pay him on certain date and certain time, please make it sure that you do it. So my dear friends, the parents from all over the world must teach their kids this discipline of the tongue, the management of the tongue. If we could manage the tongue in 21st century, believe me, we will be able to take away lots of problems. Because we must never use the words mixing with the emotion of anger, mixing emotion of the hate in our words, mixing emotions of the devil's workshop, devil's behavior of envy, jealousy. But we mix our words with the emotion of God, the godly character, the divine attributes of love and compassion and the universal empathy. The management of the tongue, that's the third. And the fourth, please, I appeal to all the parents from all over the world, please teach your child how to cook their own food. Doesn't matter where they live, but they must know how to cook their own food themselves. And if they will learn how to cook their own food, they will also learn the priority, what they would like to eat. Because in 21st century, we will have more and more floating population on the planet. Maybe 90% of the people will be floating population without having their own house. But they will be living in different places, in foreign places. So not to depend on parents, not to depend on mama to cook their food, or not to depend on their wives or their husbands, but cook their own food. They must develop this skill, survival skill of cooking their own food. That's the fourth one. My dear brothers and sisters, the fifth skill, the survival skill, the discipline, is of emotional management. You must teach your child that there is no free lunch in the world. And there is no alternative to the hard work. And hard work is the pleasure. Don't try to make your child smart, playing tricks with themselves. Because any shortcut, any trick to be the smart one, in the long run, that's suicidal, self-defeating. So teach your child that there is no shortcut, there is no free lunch, and the child must be steadfast on the dharma of hard work, perseverance, working incessantly, working every day, every moment, 86,400 seconds, being allotted to every activity, dedicated to the mission at hand, to the goal at hand, the destination we want to achieve. So the child must learn this. And for this, my dear friends, you need no education, you need no holy books, you need no literature, you don't need money. So you cannot have excuse, my dear brothers and sisters, all the parents all over the world, that you are poor or rich, so you can't give anything to your child. You can't say that you are not educated. Doesn't matter where you are, who you are, rich or poor, educated or not educated. Even if you are living on the street, my dear brothers and sisters, you can teach your child and make your child most competent for 21st century. And these survival skills will make your child invincible, to make your child very competent. Remember the prayer of Father Francis of Assisi, the great Italian saint. I taught this prayer to my daughter. When one day she came home and said, "Papa, all other kids are coping, cheating in the exam and they will get more numbers or more marks than me. I said, don't worry. Then again she was whining and complaining. I said, do you want to live a dishonest life? She said, no, I don't want to be dishonest in my life. So then I said, I want to give you this prayer of Father Francis of Assisi. And Father Francis of Assisi used to pray this so beautifully, and it is so good for the emotional management. And this prayer says, Father Francis says, oh Lord, give me the strength, the things I do, I do. The things I can do, I do. And oh Lord, give me the strength, the things I cannot do, I accept, I cannot do. That's the greatest prayer of emotional management. So please do teach this prayer to your child. For this you need no education, just this prayer. And these 5 skills which will prepare your child for the 21st century, and your child will be the best human being, and your child will be the chain of good for himself or herself and for the whole universe, and will contribute to the universal welfare maximum. So my dear brothers and sisters, be very responsible parent. Be a great parent and be a great guru and a great teacher of your child. And take this responsibility, this cosmic responsibility of being the parent. This is the greatest honor you have as a parent, that there is some divine soul chose you as her guru. Can you imagine the God's image chose you as a guru, as a teacher? So my brothers and sisters, be responsible parent and teach these 5 skills, the great 5 skills of 21st century, and your child will be the most competent, most smart, without tricks, really smart, real hardworking, and almost invincible. Thank you very much, and have a very, very beautiful day, my brothers and sisters. Thank you very much.